Welcome back to teleSUR English. We go now to Russia as world leaders continue to arrive in Moscow ahead of Victory Parade. Let's see now the images of Vietnam President Luong Cuong coming out of the official plane as Vietnam joins the delegations that are arriving in Russia at this important event. Let's recall that world leaders have been arriving at the Russian Federation for the past days to take part in the celebrations, the main of which will be the parade that will be held tomorrow, May 9th, the Victory Parade in commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the win of the Soviet Union against Nazism in 1945. We are watching as the president of Vietnam, Luong Cuong, is being received by an official delegation at Russia. He joins the list of world leaders that have arrived at the Eurasian nation. We've seen during the past days Latin American leaders such as Nicolás Maduro from Venezuela, Miguel Díaz-Canel from Cuba, also Luis Ignacio Lula da Silva from Brazil. We've seen Chinese President Xi Jinping also arrive and hold a bilateral meeting earlier on Thursday. And in this moment, we are watching the president of Vietnam also arrive in Russia. This is a world show of support and solidarity, a strengthening of diplomatic ties among countries along the global south, in particular with Russia. So significant at this moment of the world scene, in which a big part of the Western strategy with Russia has been to try to isolate the country through measures such as coercive measures. Of course, a similar strategy that has been applied to other nations. And in the face of those strategies, this international show of support with relevant world leaders arriving in Moscow during the week, holding bilateral meetings with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and all of them prepared to join celebrations for the Victory Parade that will be held on May 9th in commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the then Soviet Union against Nazism in 1945. One of the most important aspects that most experts and also the heads of state themselves have highlighted the importance of that victory in the shaping of the world that we see today, and as well the way in which Western narratives to this day continue to try to erase that victory, rewrite that history. And this is an act in which leaders from across the world are coming not only to strengthen bilateral ties with Russia, but also to reinforce the importance of understanding what really happened in 1945, and also to relaunch an international fight against fascism, as we see far-right movements arise in different nations across the world, as we see humanitarian crisis unfold before the world's eyes. And many continue to speak in favor of international solidarity, South-South cooperation as the only way to confront these struggles. So we were looking at images in Russia as the president of Vietnam arrived to the Russian Federation ahead of May 9th Victory Day celebrations that will take place in Moscow. We will continue with more information in upcoming news brief. Stay tuned with teleSUR English.